Yeah, hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Salesforce real-time scenarios in LWC. So in the previous video, we discussed about to the how we are going to display the list of the sales orders data with the data table. In the data table, we have to display by the sales order data. Okay, and in this video, we are going to discuss about to the here. Once we click on to this particular sales order number, we have to open by the pop-up window. So first initially how we are going to make it as to the clickable. So we have to clickable to the first to that one. And second step is the how we are going to read it by the current row details. That is the two things is the important before we are going to open by the pop-up window. So for example, here I have the one more sales order. So I'm creating the one more sales order is the ready for delivery. Something date is the like this. So save. So here we click on to this. We click on to the view sales order. So here we have the two records. It might be I click on to the 7 or 8. So how to identify? We click on to the 7 or 8 and, and we read to the current row data. So these two scenarios before we are displaying the sales order line items into the in the pop-up. So first we have to come to the make it as the clickable. So in the columns we have to change it to this is the clickable. So we have to take it by the type equals to sorry type is the button. We have the button type. If we are not giving the any button type by default, it is the base. Okay. So here button comma in this button we have the attributes. So we have to clickable, right? So that's why here we have the type attributes. Okay. So here this is the syntax. So now here we have to give it by the label. So label is the what we are going to display by the field name. What we want to display by the field name. So here we have to give it by the name and any alternate text. So for example, here we keep it as here now. We have to display it by the same order number. We have to take it by the alternative. It is the optional. Okay, alternative text. It is the optional depends upon to the requirement. We have to take it here also, which is you want to display by the alternate text. We can give it by the same name only. That is the nothing but the order number. And okay, so now come to the here. We have to the comma and variant. We have to give it by the base. Okay. So now here instead of the starting, we are give it by the ID. Why? Because means current row record ID we need to capture with name also fine, but always be better to take by the record ID. Based on this record ID, we are going to get it by the sales order line items. This is returned to the sales order ID, sales order record ID. Based on this record ID, we are going to get it by the sales order line items record. So that's why here we clickable to the viewable to the name, but background once we click on to this, it is returned to the sales order record ID. So now save this, we have to deploy. So now come to the here. Before refreshing the page, you have to observe appear like this na 7 and 8. So I'm refreshing page. After refreshing page, you have to observe this will be the come by the clickable. So here refresh the page. Now here we are going by the phone number. Now we click on to the view sales orders. See here, you have to observe the previous and now we have to able to clickable now. Okay. Sorry guys. when we are clicking onto this, we have to display the one pop-up window and we have to display by the sales order line item. So before that, we have to read it now which row you have clicked or which sales order record we have to click, either 7 or 8, right? So how we are going to identify that? So in the data table, we have the one of the future we have, that is the on-row actions. On-row action we have the in the data table. Okay, so we have to use it by the this one on-row action too. We have to get it by the method. So here we are give it by the method name. So here we can give it by our method name. You can give it by the anything. Okay. So here we can give it by the handle row action. Okay. So here all we can give it by the small letters only. These are all the small letters now. That's why here we can give it on row action. So this method we have to define into the in our method in JS. So on row action we have to take it by the event. So okay, it is the standard event by because means which is the running, right, which row is the handling, that is we need to handling purpose. So now save. So how to identify? Once we just click on this, it is automatically called by this method based on the on row action. It is called by our row action method. So now here we have to get it by the details, current to row details. So that's why here constant row equals to event dot target dot row. So here you can give it by the any naming, no need to for the give it by the row only, but this is the standard syntax event dot target dot row. It is written to the current to row, current record row information. This full row information, it would be the reading. It would be the reading by the event dot row. Okay. Now here we have to get it by the current record ID, right? Which record you have to click that record ID based to, we have to retrieve the sales order information. So here we have to take by the one console log dot. So here we have to take it by the row information row dot ID. It is written by the record ID. It is written by the current record ID. So here we have to give it by the row ID or sales order record ID, your wish. Sales order ID. Okay. So now we have to deploy this one. And at the same time, we have to deploy it by this one also. We are added by the sales order, sorry, row action, right? So here we have to deploy by the row action. So we have the deployed to the both. Now come to the here, refresh the page. So here I'm enter by the phone number. Submit button, it is returned to the customer information. Once we click on to the view sales order, here displayed by the sales orders information to the this customer, and we click on to this. Okay, it is throwing on some error. We can see on click row action. So once we click on to this is right. So what is the here handle row action? So here we are giving the same, right, handle on row action. We are giving the actually here. So in this we have to check it. What is the problem here? Okay, sorry. Actually, here we have to capture by the full row information, right? Here we have to capture by the full row information, right? So here we are using instead of the target, we are using the detail. So full row information we have to capture purpose, we are using the detail. That's why it throws an error. Again, we deploy it to the source arc after changing this. So here we have to refresh the page. Now given by the phone number. So click on submit, click on view details, click on this. So now it is gone the error. Okay. Now we click on the right click and inspect element. We have to see this is written by this record ID. See here, record ID is this one. If you click on this, it is written to the different record ID. See here. So both are the different. So Q9Z. So actually, I think we have to this one. Now here you have to observe AAM. Okay, this is the F6. This is the F1. This is the difference between these two record IDs. Okay. So like this, we have to get it by the which row you have to select it, that row information. So that's why here instead of the detail, you give it by the detail. Instead of the target, you have to give it by the detail. Then it is written to the full row information. If you want to capture by the like order status or order date also, we can capture instead of the ID. So like this, we are going to get it the data when we click on to the particular row action. Particular row action, we have to get it to the data. So I hope to it's clear. In this video, we discussed about the first thing is we have to make it as the clickable. So that purpose, we are make it as the in the attributes we have defined type is the button we are given. And second thing is in the data table we are giving the row action, which row is we are clicking that it is called by the row action method. Then here we have to read it by the that row information. As of now we have the required for the record ID. That's why here we are retrieve the row dot ID. I hope to it's clear how we are implemented. So in the next video we are going to discuss about to the once we click on to this, we have to open the pop-up. In that pop-up we have to display it by the our sales order line items, our sales order line item. Okay, stay tuned. Thank you guys.